And we are back here on the party on CHMR.
Yes, we are.
We are back here in studio with young Manics. How you guys doing?
Great, guys. Thanks for having us in.
Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Aaron Hickey. So I'm the singer and guitarist with Young Manics here. Irina Borchova, our keyboardist from the Ukraine. Andrew Smalls, who is our drummer, and Peter Collins is our bass player. So say hi, guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
Cool. So how did you guys all come together to play music, I guess?
Take that one. You were in it before I was, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, me and Peter were in school together doing engineering here. And he told me he had a band kind of in progress and wondering if I wanted to play the drums with him. So it was myself, Peter, and a guitarist.
Yeah, our guitarist is kind of living in China right now for a year or so.
Yeah, so we started with them, and then we had a few singers, and I don't really know how we found Aaron, but eventually I think James, who was the guitar player we were working with, found Aaron probably at a party or something like that. And we started jamming, and Hickey had some songs, so we started going with that, and yeah, that's how it kind of started.
Yeah, the band started as a cover band, like many bands do. We were just playing covers and probably not very well at that, but we were doing that, and it was fun. But I'd been doing that in different bands since I was a kid, and I grew old with that, and I just wanted to do my own thing. So for 6 years now, we've been doing our own thing, and last year recorded our first album. I mean, we've been writing songs for a long time, many of which we didn't use on that because we wanted it to be pretty fresh. So those are kind of in the cellar, the graveyard. They may never make it to tape, but who knows, someday maybe. And we had recorded a few demos before that. But anyway, we wanted to do the real thing, and we spent a good 18 months working on the album.
So since you guys have released this album, you guys have had a busy year. You've been nominated for a bunch of Music NL awards. I mean, tell us about it. Like, how does that feel for you guys?
Yeah, well, that was kind of unexpected because really, when you're doing something like this for the first time, and it was self-produced, and we did it ourselves with the help of Richard Bradley, who is a mastering engineer. Who had worked at Metalworks Studio in Toronto, came back to Newfoundland, and from time to time he had filled in for us playing drums over the years. And he was on board to do one. He had worked in the studio up there for 2 years. It's also where he had gone to school in Ontario, and was very eager to get his name on his own thing, that, you know, he was the primary guy there for the recording side of it, and he's a bit of a tech wizard, which none of us are. But he made it sound really good, and that was great. As for like the Music NL thing, we kind of didn't see it coming, but we were super happy, and it got a lot of good press actually. As soon as we put it out there, reviews started coming in. People seemed to like it. If they hadn't liked it, I don't think we would have cared. But we were flattered that they did. You know, that was good. We got the A grade here from the Muse, which was, there weren't many of them given out last year, I don't think. So we were really happy about that one actually, because I obviously have been a student before and read that publication for, you know, the entire time I was here. So I was glad to see that one.
It was kind of funny when we had the album done. Our goal was just to get everything recorded really well and have it sound professional. That was the goal going into it. And then we started having some things happen, like some positive reviews. We had like a Music NL nomination. And then, of course, like, it must be like the way life goes. Our guitarist decided to leave and go teach in China. So we said, I mean, we got all these opportunities now to play the gigs we want to do. So we tried a couple of guitar players, but it's kind of not really a great gig to say, hey, do you want to replace a guy in a band for about a year? You know, it's kind of a hard sell. So we're kind of going with a different setup now with the keyboards added in to kind of sub in some of the guitar parts. It's been working for us now for the last few months.
Yeah, and we've been playing pretty well nonstop. We put the album out the last weekend in August. The Music NL Awards were in October. Since that time, we've pretty well played almost every second weekend.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of big Christmas shows that were good. We did one in our hometown where there was over 600 people, so that was a great one. What else can you say? This woman right here has done a fantastic job of filling in for our other guitar player, James. He's still in our band, but like we said, he's in China right now. He was also instrumental in the writing along with myself, and he had wanted he kind of wanted a keyboardist in the band, to be honest, because we were doing a lot more synthesizer sounding kind of stuff towards the end. And we've really moved in that direction a lot more now since she started joining us. And she's the only professional musician in the band. So.
It helps.
Yeah, which is great.
So would you guys like to play us a tune here?
Sure, absolutely. Right.
You want to jump over there?
So this song is called Crisis. This was one of James's songs, our guitar player in exile. So you can thank him for this one. It was a co-write between me and him. Friends of old persuasions, to your surprise, one by one they've disappeared. Listen for their voices along your way, 'cause they're not coming back again. And you're getting tired, so put away your burden, let's get a drink. We're not getting any younger now. And there comes a time when you feel the eyes upon you, and I bet you wished upon the scars of every word that cut you, but now it's gone too far, and it's now or never. Wear it on your face. Well, it's perfect weather, and a crisis is a shame to waste. You hang on to your hollow dreams, nostalgic winds that moved your mind for many years. But the past is just a shadow you cast in time, and time's a peace you cannot tame. But you tried and you've tried, and you feel the eyes upon you. Hell, I bet you wished upon the scars of every word that cut you, but now it's gone too far, and it's now or never. You wear it on your face. Well, it's perfect weather, and a crisis is a shame to waste.
Back here on the party on CHMR.
Yes, we are.
I am your host, Warren Gordon.
And I'm Chelsea Skeens.
We just heard Moment of Inertia from Young Manics' album Solitary Songs. What can you guys tell us about that song?
Moment of Inertia was another song. The main guitar riff was written by our other guitarist, James. That was one that he kind of brought to me as just pieces of a song, and he's really good at writing guitar riffs and all that. And oftentimes, I have to work with him, I guess, for us to turn it into a song. So it was just pieces, kind of things, a couple of riffs that he had hanging around, and lyrically, I had in my mind that I wanted to write a song that was sort of about how sometimes you need a little push, which was kind of the case with our band. And so, like, in a lot of ways, it was about that. You need a little push to do something. We had been 4 or 5 years writing songs, playing together all around the city. And why did it take us 5 years to decide that we were going to record something? I don't know. I just get it in my mind, and then I started pushing at the guys, and then we kind of talked about it and hashed it out, and we figured it made a good material for the first song, since that was kind of the subject matter of the song. And the actual title, Moment of Inertia, was just I have a friend who's an engineer who's always talked about how he loved the name Moment of Inertia from his physics courses in his first year. He's like, isn't that really cool? Yeah, so that's where it came from.
That's my favorite thing about when bands come in. They're like, "Oh, our band name is this because it sounded really cool," or "Our song is called this because it sounds cool."
Because it sounded really cool. Well,
yeah.
Moment of Inertia, we just thought that was a great, awesome term from physics. So yeah.
So where else do you guys draw your song inspirations?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to let the guys talk to that themselves on their own particular style. Do you have any influences, I guess, to your drumming and bass playing?
Well, for drumming, like, I kind of come from like a jazz background, I guess, so I approach it differently than like other drummers, I guess. But from the way like our songs are written, our process usually starts with Hickey will come in with his idea and probably show it to us on the acoustic guitar, and once we get the rhythm into it with the drums, it kind of starts to come together. And then James will have some really killer riffs that he just can't, they're not really songs yet, and then we'll kind of, it's really hard to explain. I don't know. I just really do the drums.
Yeah. I always find that the song never sounds like a song to me until we play the drums with it. Mm-hmm. To me, it's just some ideas that I'm kind of banging around in my head, sitting on the corner of my bed in my bedroom, playing through what could be a song, and I don't know if it's any good until I hear drums on it. As soon as the drummer starts playing along, and if the groove happens, if it works, you know right away, okay, this is a song, and this is good, or this is terrible, let's just get rid of this forever, you know? So, but I never know, because I only write melodies, and melodies can sound fine, but sometimes there's no groove there, and it doesn't work. It's uninspiring, right. I guess, right?
There's one funny thing in that song for me that like showed me the benefit of always playing with as many people as you can, because in the chorus, the drums do this tom thing. It's like kind of not really a conventional way to play, and we had recorded that with the electric drums, and it was a mistake on my part. I was just like kind of doing fills because I was kind of getting frustrated with the song, and then we played it back, and the guys were like, "That sounded awesome. Just do that every time you're on the chorus."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and then we worked it in, and it like, I don't know, I never would have done that on my own if I was approaching the song and like kind of making a drum part for it. It was kind of the feedback from the guys really helps with the process.
Yeah, sometimes you make mistakes, and the mistakes were better than what you had intended, unintended consequences. There's actually a blatant mistake on that song where the other guitar player accidentally touched one of his strings off the pickup of his guitar, and it made a loud snap sound, like someone snapped their fingers really loud. It just happened that when it happened in the song, it happened on like successive beats, so it kind of was percussive, and so we're like, man, that sounded really great. Like I wouldn't even know what to describe it as in terms of like an instrument, but it kind of sounds like maybe you clapped your hands or something, and we just left it in there. We aligned it a little bit so it matched up better, and left it in the song, and it sounds like we have some kind of crazy percussive instrument on there that nobody else knows about. It's really Eddie Van Halen kind of stuff, touching your guitar strings off the pickups, right? So, yeah.
So speaking of putting it all together, would you guys like to play us another acoustic song here?
Sure. Yeah. So this song is called Courageous Ones. We don't have too many slow songs on the album. This is one of them. This is also one of the first songs that we wrote as a band. So. Up your darkest memories, and I will build a box to put them in. We'll never open it again, because the past is all you have to grieve. And you can stay with me a while. I let you hang your blankets on the walls. We'll put the past into the grave, 'cause it won't rest until you let it go. 'Cause we are not forsaken, girl. The lights have only dimmed, and I am here to bring you home. We are broken, we are flawed. I am sorry for my part. If I could change it all, I would. Transcend this climbing, burden bound. Unravel the rope and chain that holds you down. Bleed our lives onto an empty page. We'll bleed a river that can wash us clean. 'Cause we are not forsaken, girl. The lights have only dimmed, and I am here to bring you home. We are broken, we are flawed. I am sorry for my part. If I could change it all, I would. Here until this life is gone, and I won't let you lie alone. Spill out on the streets to sing for the courageous ones. Whoa. Whoa.
we're back here on the party at st.john.
Yes, we are. Still here with young Manics.
We are. So we were talking during the break. You guys have a show coming up in May.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a show with Waterfront Fire, who opened the show, I believe, and here tonight, and London Above, who just put out an EP. That is the plan from the other guys.
Jam.
Yeah. That is a show that the guys in Waterfront Fire are organizing, actually. I don't have the exact date yet, but they're telling me early in May. So
Cool.
This month, actually, we started writing again. We're planning on recording another album, getting at it, June, July, that time. So we took a little hiatus from playing. We got asked to play actually Friday, and then Waterfront Fire, those guys wanted us to go out to the West Coast to play in Cornerbrook and Stephenville for Easter weekend, but we kind of thought that maybe we should focus on writing right now, and the guys probably wanted to stay home with their families for Easter and whatnot, so we didn't get to do that, but we like those guys, so we're gonna plan something for next month with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
So do you guys have anything else, I guess, up and coming for the future?
In terms of shows, we're usually booking stuff 3 weeks in advance, that kind of thing. So we don't have a summer schedule as such.
That's fair.
But we're going to focus on writing again, because we had a ton of fun, and I don't think I'm alone in saying that, in recording the first one. Of everything that we've done as a band, and we love playing live, it was the most fun experience, and it was a no pressure environment, because their audio engineer we were working with was basically a fill-in guy in our band and a good friend, and it was just a fun experience the whole way around. We took it really seriously, and we were quite monotonous with it. I know that some, and everyone has their own thing that they do with this. Some bands, they'll go in and jam it out, and it sounds great, and it takes them 2 weeks, and we were 18 months because we were incredibly meticulous with it.
Right.
That's just our personality types. We're all that kind of person. So we have 4 detail-oriented people in the band, which I guess leads to maybe sometimes overthinking things, but it was our opinion, I believe, that if we were going to do it, we wanted to do it in our minds perfect.
Right.
So that's where we were too. But in the meantime, also, it was a ton of fun, so we didn't hurry it, because we were having more fun than we had ever had as a band. So
Cool.
So where can listeners check out Solidarity Songs?
Well, Solidarity Songs is available. The disc is at Fred's Records. It's at HMV. If you want to get a physical copy, you can go to either of those 2 places. It's for sale on iTunes. You could stream it on SoundCloud. It's also available on Reverb Nation. And we have the full album streamable on YouTube, too, as a single file. So you click and play and listen through the whole thing.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thanks for having us. We had a great night, and you guys have a great show, and we listen sometimes, and we really dig what you do. So,
Thanks. We'll see you around.